It's week 13. My name is Dave. You can call me Beans. And I have my friend Troy, aka Nappy Nap. We're here for a episode of the Balls Deep Football podcast. We're rocking some Jack Freeman, a cold-blooded, a remix of some sorts of Molly Tacos dubs. I love it. It's great.
Love it too.
I jam this sometimes when I'm working out. Get some cardio going.
I know who jamming this right now. That Carolina Panthers locker room.
You talking about the firing that happened?
Yeah, another one bites the dust, bro. But we can get into that later. Huh?
But that dude now he got fired from the Colts and now fired from the Panthers. Frank Rich is that
right?
correctly?
Frank Wright.
Frank
Right. But that's a shame, man. It's like you got to get along with the boss, man. Like he wasn't both times bump head with the owners back with Irsay and with this guy. So
I heard rumors of that, but was that confirmed? Like was it?
Yeah. But I also think Irsay is a guy that you either with him or you're not right away. Kind of like Mark Davis.
Well, you can get into a whole bunch of stuff with Irsay too, with comments he's had recently in the media.
Yeah,
but I digress. Let's pull up the topics of the day. Let's get into it. So intro.
It was a crazy week 12, bro. Crazy week 12, huh? Houston. I mean, we start with the hometown. They almost had it. A little doink away from an OT at least.
Yeah, that Houston game. A lot of us in Houston and people on the Xverse are complaining about the officiating, and it was horseshit.
Yeah,
but I do think
can't let it go. Can't let the officials decide it.
Exactly. I'm not going to blame the officiating and be the sour team because I think there was some. I saw some account. I can't give credit to it because I don't know off the top of my head, but they were showing that the Jaguars had some calls equally egregious on their side too. Like it went a little bit of both ways. Probably more so lopsided to the Texans. There are some bigger plays for the Texans, but
critical times and
it was all. It was just it was messy officiating all over the board. So I bet.
Speaking of messy, bro, that Monday night game last night, I in and out. I was a few points from beating D or not, and worst Monday night game in the world, bro. Like somebody had a little play on words, little headline there. It was Bears Vikings, right? Just couldn't bear to watch it. One of those just trash, man. But anyways, Josh Dobbs, man, that insanity run is over. Josh Dobbs, the pastronaut, he had a good couple weeks, Shit.
Yeah, there's some good memes coming out around that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's roll into it.
So injuries affecting the fantasy landscape. What's going on? Talk to me.
But I'm gonna start with one that's tough. Just the entire wide receiver room for the Saints. I read Michael Thomas on IR possibly now from last week before week 12 even started. Knee injury. Chris Olave had the concussion in the game, I think third quarter, and then you got Rashid Shaheed. I think that's how you say his name. But the fact that that might bode well for our waiver wire picks later. You know what I mean? I think there's a kid named Perry out there on the Saints receiving room that now assumes probably one duty. The number one duty is we know the Saints are a passing team. We know Derek Carr is going to throw it, even though that's a whole nother story, Derek Carr. But it's don't know where I'm going with that, but that's week 12, and you already know injuries ain't gonna stop. So.
Talk about injuries. I lost my quarterback in Joe Burrow. Did I lose him? We didn't have a show last week.
Oh, yeah.
Before, right?
2 weeks ago you lost him. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I picked up Matt Stafford, not to go on a derail conversation here, but it's injuries. And he had his best week going against the Arizona Cardinals. Got me like 31 points this past week. And we can get into the games in the Balls Deep Football League because I won. I beat Kyle by like 0.02 or something. Like the narrowest win I probably have ever had in probably the decade long that I've played fantasy football.
Hell of a win too. Yeah.
Typical. Like I honestly went to bed and finished the game. I was like, no, I lost that game. Woke up like, what happened? And I had to look at the film. And that's exactly what happened with the Dallas Cowboys game. Only he ended up winning. Remember the rule change. If you do a flashback to that, I'll have to cut back to that. I won. We woke up and then we realized we didn't have a rule change of like the credit for the 100-yard game, and that's
like
exactly how.
Yeah,
and that's exactly how I won this game actually, because Kyle beat me that way in the first time. This time DJ Moore had an over 100-yard game. So anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I'll say I don't list other injuries just because if they say day to day, I'm probably not worried about it. But it might be worth mentioning Etienne, right? Travis Etienne on the Jags. So he chest injury. day to day. I think he'll be all right. I mean, we're gonna mention him later as far as I think his stock might be going up or down. See what you think compared to how he's playing now and earlier on in the season when he was hot. But
Well, during that game against the Texans, he went into the locker room and then came back out and then
yeah, he
played
did.
again.
Yeah, and he still
So,
had 24 touches. So yeah, I'm sorry.
so it's
What's
a
up?
chest injury.
Yeah, something with the chest. Like you said, he came back, little limitations, and then he
Well,
finally,
you think they injected something in him in the
yeah,
locker room?
probably
Came back out.
a
What
little turkey gravy.
turkey gravy? What?
God damn, oh boy.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I just noticed that and I was like, oh, interesting. So I would expect it to be like an arm or something where you could like power through the game, but it's sore. A chest one, that's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
that's one if you get hit maybe the wrong way. Yeah, who knows, a couple other
Right.
running backs, Javante Williams, stinger. So, the neck injury, man, it's super scary. But if it's just a stinger, we've all had that stinger before. You drop your shoulder and shit. He'll be all right, but you know, you'll see how these names we're saying now feed into our later segments like waiver wire pickups. You know what I'm saying? The one that you just told me about, Jonathan Taylor. What's up?
Oh yeah,
Might miss a
Jonathan
couple
Taylor. It was
weeks.
out. I think I think just today, maybe a few hours before we started this. He's getting surgery on his thumb. He had a thumb injury. I forgot what it's from, or I don't know the details on it. But he's getting surgery. That is confirmed. Expected to be about 2 to 3 weeks, and I can't imagine you have surgery and be back in for 2 weeks. So I'd say more on the 3 week side. And being that we're in the last, so we're in week 13. We have what this week and next week for the final weeks of the fantasy season, or do we have three more
Correct for us.
games?
Yeah, yeah. No, we got two more. Most fantasy playoffs
We
will
start week
start.
15.
Yeah, most will start 14, but we start 15. We go 15, 16, 17. Yeah, because 14 there's still bye weeks. That's the last set of bye weeks for some teams. It sucked to go in the first round playoffs on the bye week, bro. But
Yeah,
we did
so
last year. Yeah.
yeah, I think the balls deep league section will be good because I think we have a lot of teams like floating around who are like 6-6, and you might be like probably out. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
yeah, I think I'm knocked out, man. That's sad, but I can still chase a keeper. I'm trying to find a tight end to keep next year, or am I going to keep Nico? It's looking like the tight end, and then I got a running back I'll name later on in the show. Looks like he could be a good keeper. Actually played last night on Monday night, so. Uh, but yeah, man. Shit, we can roll in if you're ready. See what
Yeah.
we can scoop up. It's kind of different, right? This time around, this point in the season, we're doing no trade talk. We're not really doing much stock up, stock down, or I'm sorry, buy high or sell low. But we still could talk about waivers. Still talk about the stash.
I mean,
And
yeah, we might want to title this one just like get ready for the playoffs because you have only
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
couple. It's either your final push into the playoffs or you're setting up. And for
Yeah,
me,
we'll have to lump these two, waiver wire and stash, on the next show.
yeah, I
Actually,
think
yeah,
we'll maybe
yeah,
do
you're
that,
right.
concise it down.
I like it. I like it.
And so I'll let you kind of kick this one off. I actually probably have a few things to say this episode. So, but you please kick us off. Who
Yeah,
who you
bro.
got?
So
Who are you targeting this so late in the season?
everyone's talking about this name, right? They're talking about Roshan Johnson. Okay, y'all motherfuckers weren't talking about him all season. What's going on? Y'all let Khalil Herbert scare you. Deontay Foreman gave us a reason to not worry about Roshan Johnson or to not think of him. But Khalil Herbert's back. Here, the inefficiency still showing. Um, Last night was a good opportunity because Foreman was out, and Roshan responded. I think he's on par with guys like Spears, Zach Moss. I think Who wants us to like to compare players and names, to get a cast a wider net on people listening. The ears might buckle more when one of these other names are here. But I put Roshan slightly above those guys, man. Spears, waiting on Derrick Henry to get hurt, and then of course Zach Moss, two handcuffs, which I guess now it would be safe to say Zach Moss is rostered. It should be at least, and he's going to be playing. What we just mentioned about Taylor out a couple weeks on the thumb. But another cat, Chandler. I put a lot of money out on Chandler, Minnesota Vikings. He doesn't have the production to back it up, man. So you're probably wondering why would I suggest his name. He is that much more explosive though than Madison. And remember, this is a team that brought in Cam Akers, some other help to try and compete and see who could supplant. Is that the right word? Get who could take the number one duties from Madison, and nobody stepped up. So we'll see if Chandler, the youth is there. We'll see if the opportunity exists too.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah, man. I do want to say the formula here. Moving on, like you say, we should title this kind of "Get Ready for the Playoffs Now or Never." You still want to have, scour the waiver wire, but the formula should be more, I guess, like we're looking more at the upcoming schedule, the strength of schedule, SOS, you know what I'm saying? Um, that plus the potential of the workload. So you got those two things. And then, of course,
That's exactly
who
what the
you,
that was maybe the point I was going to try to make is like, for me looking at it, I think
it's,
I'm pretty much likely going to get in the playoffs. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, how does this differ between like real life and fantasy? Well, real life, you might rest players. You can't really put players on a bench and it save you. And so your better bet is to just, try to get the top seed or just get ready. My point is look out ahead about the schedule you are likely to have, especially
yeah,
the last
yeah,
two
yeah.
seasons. So it's like basically I could just say the last two games I don't care because I'm going to get in the playoffs. There is something in our league to fight for the number one seed. You basically get to skip the first round, and then you basically only have to do one playoff game. Win your playoff game, you're into the
And
championship
you're in the
game.
championship, boy. Play
So
for 2, 3
I
grand.
think
Yeah, goddamn.
we pared down. I think the available teams that could make it into the playoffs this year, and then we made it. There's only one team that could get that bye week because there's a odd number of teams going in. Or there's seven, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I think
sir.
last year was our eight.
Yeah.
Right. So it does feel a lot smaller with just that one. And maybe we're kind of bleeding into the balls deep league here. But my point is that to me, when I'm looking, okay, feel like I have a strong team, but I've got two games where me and Steve are pretty much neck and neck. If one of us loses and one of us wins out, that's basically how the number one seed is going to get.
Swap.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
So I'm looking at, okay, who's Matt Stafford playing? Who's Geno Smith playing? I'm looking at my whole team, and it's actually pretty complicated if you want to break it down. It's like, really look at your best possible matchups going into the
Well,
week.
it's a balance too, though, right? Because you're gonna have, you mentioned who Matt Stafford. Yeah, that's a guy you're gonna have to interchange, especially your situation. You were depending on Burrow, right? What I mean balance. Some of these motherfuckers, you gonna play regardless, right? They're your superstars, your anchors, your studs. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get in the playoffs and start benching guys just because they playing somebody that shows red, on the defense. You know what I mean? Because they got a top 5 rank whatever defense against the opposing player's position. But you're right. There's gonna be some of those where it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? You're trying to fit a square in a circle peg, or you know what I'm saying? That you got 3 receivers, only 2 slots, or some kind of numbers game.
Well,
You
I
got to
think
knock one
if
out.
you were to look at like my team and Steve's team, and we could maybe later, but I feel like Steve probably has the more set it and forget it. My team can be pretty set and forget it, but mine has more guys that are either hot or cold. Dalton Schultz is a good example. Like he rattled off 3 games, 20, 30, and then 1 point this past week was a non-factor. So it's like you don't know, like he's like not always money. So I have a lot of guys, and then you have like I think Brian Robertson with the Washington Commanders. Solid running back's been super solid, but then he still has like some goose egg game. So I've got players that when they all click, like I'm doing well, and I've lucked out the past 4 games, and so for me, I do feel like I have a little bit more volatility to say like maybe I don't play this guy, maybe I pick this guy from waivers, maybe I switch these guys around. I didn't go. Geno Smith was playing great the whole season, but then I lost Joe Burrow, and I was like, okay, well he's playing the 49ers, and I just don't feel comfortable with that because what do we know about the 49ers? They're really good on defense.
Yeah, strong D. Yeah.
And I don't have strong conviction in Geno Smith that he's like an all-star quarterback, put the team on his back kind of thing. He's very much call a system quarterback, whatever. I don't care. So his success depends a lot on his surrounding cast a lot more.
All
so
the pieces around him. Yeah.
So like Matt Stafford was the best choice because he's like going against a weak Arizona defense. That was to me that was the whole matchup. So that definitely how I guess my long point is. That's how I think you're thinking about. At least I'm thinking about waiver targets right now at this time of year.
Hey, absolutely,
So,
man. And shit,
so
if I'm rolling into receivers here, some guys outrank. These guys shouldn't be rostered right now. Well, I think people are saying like 45% are under roster, right? I'm gonna throw 4 names and we'll try and sort them out how we rank them. Jaden Reed. I mean, it's time to appreciate that Green Bay's finally got a fantasy player on their, on the squad, and his name's not Christian Watson. I mean, we should have knew that a couple weeks ago. Jaden Reed was a 2nd-round pick. Just somebody went under the radar with all these other big names that came off the board. You know what I'm saying? But he is a part of it. You can tell LaFleur schemes him into some of these plays, some of these motions. It's one of these. They run the play 2 or 3 times, or the fake toss, or the fake end around. just to see what the defense does. And then he comes back in the third, fourth quarter, runs the same play, and that's how Reed's getting these touches, man. Curtis Samuel, Jameis Williams. Um,
So I pulled up. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but I pulled up
oh,
the.
what you got?
This is sleepers trending up, trending down players, and so I think
Yeah, yeah.
after we have your own personal notes, we can look at this maybe and say like, and I forgot to run the clock, so we're free balling on this little segment here, but I don't think we'll probably even skip the next one since they're all interchangeable, like the stash and the waiver wire at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
So, but we have Zach Moss leading the top of the trend in terms of sleeper. And I guess is this a trend with only in the PPR or just trends all in general, all leagues? I'm not too sure.
It's probably geared more for the PPR, but I like that. That's cool. And you can see from our league, not your top your first 10 guys trending, only one or two are on the waiver in our league at least. The rest are scooped up.
So I'll just go ahead and list.
Yeah, name the guys.
So we have Zach
yeah.
Moss as running back for the Colts. Obviously, we just said Jonathan Taylor's going down because of that surgery. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is number 2. We have a tight end from Pittsburgh. I have never even heard of this dude, Mr. Pat Freiermuth.
Pat, yeah. Yeah. Nah, he's been on IR for the last but.
And so
Pat F, man, been on the IR the last 5-6 weeks.
Jason Sanders, a kicker from Miami.
Oh.
That Mr. Matt Ivy has in our league. And then you have the Jaguars defense. Wide receiver from Arizona, Greg Dortch.
I like that, man. And Dortch, I rode him last year early on in the season, and I hope to get some game film on to show everybody here soon that he's looking good with Kyler Murray. Yes, yeah, so name the ones that are we can scoop up that are available in our league. Skip the guys that are on rosters. They're probably on rosters.
It's a couple defenses. The Falcons, the Chargers are up. Tight end from the Chargers, Gerald Everett.
Oh man, that guy.
Number 10.
The guy's just he's a bad habit. That boy just won't go out, man. I've been tired of hearing his name every week, man.
Number 12. Oh, and you have them, D'Ernest Johnson.
Yeah, Ernest Johnson, I'll tell you, with ETN, that chest day-to-day injury, it's really impressive that, not impressive, but Johnson overtook an inexperienced rookie in Tank Bigsby. Everyone just wanted Tank Bigsby to be the handcuff to own, when ETN goes down. But it was actually Ernest Johnson that's getting the trust, getting the love from the staff. So, yeah, man, we'll see.
Let's see. We have Curtis Samuel rounding out at 15. Rostered in 40% of the league.
Hey, there we go. And that's the guy I had mentioned. If we talk about Jaden Reed, Curtis Samuel, Jamison Williams, out of that 3 coming into the season, you probably thinking Jamison Williams, right? As it stands now, some reason Sam Howell just loves throwing to Curtis Samuel, bro. So, you got a team with Jahan Dawson. You got the team with, who's the other cat? Scary Terry McLaurin. Right, and yet this even though the tight end, you even got Logan Thomas out there, and yet somehow this guy Curtis Samuel is the one getting all the love here. And Jaden Reed, is that who you got right there? See,
no, actually, I pulled up Jordan Love.
It's Jordan Love.
I do have Jaden Reed because they're very close. Because I know the Green, they just had a pretty solid game. I think
I'd like to end it with quarterback actually. So that was gonna say that's perfect. You got Jordan Love and Gardner Minshew, right? Our boy that we talked about, our friend from the show. Out of those 2, you can't go wrong, So, what you got there? Oh, Jaden Reed. Yeah, man. How's he doing these last couple games?
He's ranked the 33rd wide receiver, 87th overall, rostered 56% of the league.
So he should be.
Last week was against Detroit, 15 points. Green Bay just had a good showing against Detroit. It was a really good game, actually. And I think we just signed off, maybe week 11, saying the Packers were kind of stalling, not what we expected. And then they have a solid game, I believe. Jordan Love probably had a better game than he's had in a while. And he's ranked the number 9 quarterback. Interesting. I think he had his best game against Detroit, 32 points.
Oh, shit.
So not a bad option too. Like I might need to go in.
Yeah, Detroit on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So I'll tell you what. Let's just roll right into the stash here. We mentioned Ernest Johnson earlier. That's the guy. Go ahead and get him. Especially we just mentioned DTN. Some people waiting on him to get hurt anyway since he was hurt his first year. I forgot what it was he had tore. Was it his Achilles? Nah. Anyways, the fact that it's a chest injury, he'll be all right. But You never know. Scoop him up. Zach Moss. I mean, with the news earlier today about the surgery on the thumb with Taylor. I mean, that might as well cross him off the list. But I wasn't going to talk about him. The Chargers got a cat, Palmer. He's coming back off IR, under the radar. He's been on IR. That's why no one's really been thinking about him. Scoop his ass up. Why? Quentin Johnson. I had a lot of game film on him actually, him dropping some passes. But this guy was drafted first round out of TCU, I think. They ain't been living up to the hype, man. And there's actually a video of him like saying like when he got drafted, like, tell my mama to call her job, put her 2 weeks in. She retired now. She retired now. And I don't know, man. She might have to go back to work, bro, because this motherfucker just he ain't cutting it, dog. I don't know. Unless I don't know, man. But yeah, Josh Palmer, like I said, this is one of those philosophies like the grass is always greener or just want to have a change. I forgot what the exact term is, but hey, change it up. Go ahead and get him. You never know. Shit. And then Brevin Jordan was the last guy I wanted to say. We
Yes.
kind of hit and run quick on this stash. But what's up, Brevin Jordan? I mean, you talk to me. You're a Schultz owner. How do you feel about hearing this guy's name? Eating into you,
Um,
boy.
I don't, Schultz is a nice to have, and I was like, I had high expectations though, and he's delivering. I'm not sure why, honestly, why Schultz left the fourth quarter. What do we know the
Yeah.
injury he had?
No, you know what? And damn, we got to listen. I'm sure the Texans had a couple press conferences today. No, it's going to be tomorrow. Bobby Slow is going to be speaking tomorrow
Let
to
me
the
do some
media.
research here.
Yeah. So while you do it, though, I'll set the scene. I mean, the fact that we're mentioning Brevin Jordan, Schultz left the game. There's about 9:22 left in the fourth quarter. Okay, so who steps in? It's Brevin Jordan taking 14 of the 20, 14 out of 20 snaps there. We're talking about a guy who, in Brevin Jordan, was getting out snapped by Dalton Schultz, at least 10 times out snapped at that pace on passing downs. So the fact that now went from, such a disparity to neck and neck as far as offensive snaps on a passing downs, it's I don't know. We don't have any news yet, so I don't know how to react. I'm just gonna leave
Yeah,
it at that
we
and
really don't
just
have any news. It's not coming out.
yeah. So
Nothing.
yeah, so we'll see, but hey, like I said, tight end, you're grasping at straws anyway. So go ahead and scoop that guy. We talked about Pat. I still don't know how to say his name, but Patty F. for Freermouth over at the Steelers.
Yeah.
Fairmouth. Anyways, him, Brevin Jordan. Who else is there? You know what I'm saying? Jonnu Smith. He's done with the Falcons. As far as his role from the beginning of the season, actually having things flow through him to now, just not even being looked, not even on the field. Um, It's tough, man. It's you definitely gonna want to just keep throwing shit on the wall, see what sticks. I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about our league, and it's probably why I'm not panicking too much because we can interchange tight end, wide receiver, and running back quite easily. So tight end
Uh-huh.
goes down, I can fill it with a wide receiver. Wide receiver goes down, I can fill it with running back. I'm kind of lucked out. I feel like in the I still have Tyler Boyd on my roster, which is like maybe I need to get rid of him too because like I don't even have Joe Burrow. I haven't even like I took him. He's been riding to my bench since we lost Joe Burrow. I
Yeah.
haven't even bothered to see how the Bengals are doing, quite honestly, and with the backup
They just
situation that's
lost
there.
16-10, yeah, to the Steelers this past Sunday, and it was ugly too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes the capacity that I have, I don't have too much, so I just have to focus on like who is going to be the starting lineup and not so much like what's going on the people I'm losing faith in. So it's like I don't have time
Yeah.
for everyone's story, although I should be investigating because I'm trying to host a podcast on it.
Hey, man. I'll close it out with this. We mentioned Greg Dortch earlier, man. I mean, wide receiver two, man. I mean, dare I say, like this is wide receiver two right there, just dangling on the waiver wire. This is a guy. Fuck, man. I I hate to say one trick pony with the speed, but maybe that's what Rondale Moore is there for. 9 targets, only reeled in 3 of them, but still had the touchdown. I mean, we're talking 2 weeks ago, 8 targets, made 6 of them. He made it turned into catches. He's gaining steam, man, and I mean, none of the other guys stepping up. Michael Wilson's getting hurt. That's a guy, a stash candidate we mentioned 4 or 5 weeks ago. Hollywood Brown is absolute garbage. Like, this is the guy that was supposed to be hot. Like, he played college with Kyler, brought him over from Baltimore, you know what I mean? And what's going on? It's not getting it done. So, Trey McBride, I think we mentioned him last week, but that's a great, I got him right now. That's probably the lone bright spot on my squad. But some guys we can stash, if they're not already, if they're still out there dangling.
All right. Well, that's your stash 13, your playoff hopeful, whatever you want to make it. We'll rebrand
Some
this section just as,
Cinderellas. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just, shot in the dark. Do you want to go to the next segment of spilling the beans?
Hey,
So, yeah, we've kind of like, I guess, pivoted the whiskey
yeah, yeah.
business to spilling the beans, but this spilling the beans is still brought to you by Economy Liquor down in Galveston off the 23rd Street. Make sure if you're in Galveston that you stop by Economy Liquor for all your retail and commercial needs. You're not going to
One
get
nine
the
one one, bro. One
you're
nine
not
one
going to
one 23rd.
you won't get the level of service at specs that you will find at Economy Liquor.
Nah.
This is validated on all the reviews. You can go to Google reviews and see the validated reviews. I would pull them up right now and read them off. Next time I will. But
Hey, next time we will. We'll pick one. We'll do like
yeah,
mean tweets. We'll read the
yeah.
bad ones only.
I saw one that was just about like a guy having his wedding, and he just commended you and everyone at the staff about like how easy you made it as a vendor. You're his favorite vendor. You even helped like get some money back returning it. We should call that guy up and see how the marriage is going. Maybe they got divorced.
The 1 year, bro. We'll call him up on the 1 year.
Yeah, and like send him a bottle of wine or a bottle of vodka, depending on how it's going. All right.
Shit, man.
So
All
what do you
right,
have?
what do I got, man?
Yeah, what do you
I'm
have?
trying to pick things that everyone's like unanimously agreeing on. You know what I'm saying? Some of these might be old from last week, this week. Some of my notes. Jalen Warren. I don't know how many times we trying to force it, but the Steelers love Najee, man. Like Jalen Warren's not gonna get it. I know he got an easy schedule. He's never gonna be the bell cow though, and I want to say sorry to D because I know D been holding out for him, but we'll see, man. They might flip flop 1 week this, 1 week that. So what does that mean? He can't be trusted. So he's holding up space on your team. I'd cut his ass now, but of course no one's going to, But Kenneth Walker, he doesn't have a third down role, so people call him the bell cow, and yeah, he's grinding, he's between the tackles, he's getting the tough yards, and he's breaking some runs, but he's not going to reach that potential we all see him as because he still comes out on third down. You know what I'm saying? So labeling him, he's not Saquon's level. You know what I mean? He's not even Joe Mixon's level. But he's had some awesome runs, some awesome yards after contact type shit, and that's why we put him in a class. I don't think he's gonna be disappointing some people. I'll say that. Yeah, I don't know. This is more like a hating segment, just these motherfuckers that y'all think been doing good. They're gonna disappoint you eventually, Raheem Mostert. You know what I'm saying? It's my last one I was gonna say. What you got, bro?
No, go ahead. I want to piggyback off that one. Go. You go.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert is a fraud, man. I mean, sure, 3 weeks ago I looked like an idiot saying he's gonna get hurt, and then 4 weeks ago saying he's gonna get hurt, and then 5 weeks ago saying the same thing, and he's still running healthy. But look, man. This dude is benefiting from a trash running back room. You talking about Jeff Wilson Jr. You talking about a guy who can't stay healthy, and Jackie Chan, A-Chan. The only talented thing there, and what happened? Rookie's hurt. So look, they're even phasing this guy out the last, I think, 4 games, maybe 2 targets only in the passing game. The Dolphins got too many other playmakers for us to think that Mostert's going to be the guy that's going to carry him in December. What you got? Because I wanted a tangent off of that.
I was gonna ask the important question here. Does it matter if they're a fraud if they're getting points? Like to your point, like have the points and production been dwindling? You're saying fraud, and it's like he's only successful because of X, Y, and Z. Does it matter? Because if you're just fishing
Why
for
he's
points,
successful? Yeah, you're right.
or is it like, well, he's a fraud and it's everyone else is finding out in terms of
Well, I say you're right, man. I
production.
mean, you're right. You're right.
But it's good to know both because, like, right, like if he is like if he does go in a category of like, okay, not the running back you think he is, but he's benefiting from everyone else. Well, cool, he's got points. He's more of a flyer or like you said, a week to week play. And I think
I would say based off his production and stats and fantasy points, this is a guy. If you just saw the box score, you're like, oh, he's automatic. I'm playing him every week, no matter what. Like I don't even need to see. Set it and forget it. It's going to be a trap. I think these names that I mentioned, Kenneth Walker, especially Mostert, it's a trap because I think it's going to turn, man. Besides the obvious that A-Chan's coming back soon, I would just say,
I'll go ahead and list off Raheem's last few games. So the last games against the Jets, not a really strong, actually a strong defense, but overall bad team. He had 21 points, which is on the higher end. Maybe one of our higher. No, he had a pretty high game before. But before that, it's 10, 14, 10, 6. Then Carolina was huge, 39. So it's kind of a little up and down. He'll have 6 games. 10. I wouldn't call that if you're dipping down to 6 and 10. I wouldn't say you're
Yeah, yeah.
set it and forget it. It's just like, yeah, like you said, hot hand. But it leads me to my point. Spilling the beans on Achan. It feels a little hindsight 2020. This was going to be supposed to really a segment for last week, and I think that was before he actually got into the game and got hurt.
Ah,
But
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
but
You're right.
spilling the beans, when a player gets hurt and then they come back, they're not going to capture that production they had. And I've said this before, but I don't know why I saw so many
We
fantasy
fall for
little
it.
podcasts and outlets saying like, "Oh, Chan's back, put him in your lineup." It's like, why? The dude just got hurt, and I think if it's an ankle or knee for a running back, that's like one of the worst injuries. It's not a thumb,
Lingering, man.
like
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
like Jonathan Taylor.
Lingers.
Jonathan Taylor over here with a thumb, he's gonna get surgery. He might be back in 2 weeks or 3 if they want to bandage that thing up. It's like because he's not running on his thumbs, or he's like, what does he need his thumbs for? He's holding the ball. It's like
Hey,
I'm
but the
sure it
thumb
helps.
is important.
It is
Yeah,
important,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like maybe it's not on his
I see what
dominant
you're saying.
hand. But
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
like an ankle or a knee, like that's why I didn't even think twice. Like he was on the bench immediately. I had to pull him out of. I actually left him in IR until I had to make a roster move because I was like, I'm just gonna let him sit there, like, and just have more
Yeah.
players. But
All right,
uh,
let me
yeah,
rapid fire some, man, and let's see what you think. Philadelphia, they just came out of an overtime win against the Bills. They're the team to beat in the NFC. You thinking they hitting there? They better than your 49ers? They more complete?
I would trust the thing about the 49ers is, and I haven't seen it, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be wrong. You probably have angered the 49er fan base more than any fan base out there this past season on the Xverse.
Uh,
Has Brock Purdy ever gotten a shootout? Because I feel like that's where the wheels fall off for the 49ers, and the Eagles can definitely go toe to toe with the Kansas City Chiefs in a shootout if need be. And I think they showed that with the Bills. It was a little bit of a shootout. It wasn't crazy,
yeah,
but
yeah.
when they needed to score, they do.
Amen,
49ers
bro. Yeah, I like that. I
still
like
very
that.
good. And
Purdy has shown he's human. Yeah,
I'm
to
not
answer
calling
your
Brock
question.
Purdy a fraud. I know Purdy's got a lot of like he's the real deal people out there. I know that.
Nah, he good in his system, man. Shanahan's built something good around him.
You're in the
So
NFL. Everyone should be good.
yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, how about this? Dallas. I mean, Dallas is Dallas real? Philly. They've shown they're better than Dallas, but I mean,
Dallas is a
who's got
better
the best shot?
playoff team. I can see Dallas in a NFC Championship game. I don't see them in the Super Bowl. I don't see them beat
Detroit.
the Eagles.
I see Detroit. I think Detroit could do it, man. And just because they're tough, they run. The defense is there. It's just which Jared Goff you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, they got. I mean, one of them is your running back, so Jameer Gibbs. But Dave Montgomery, what a resurgence, bro! Like they almost mirror the Eagles there.
I feel
But
like
obviously they don't have a Hurts. They don't
I'll
have a
buy
Jalen
that.
Hurts.
I would say Eagles, Lions, and Cowboys. Lions and Cowboys are very close, but I feel like the Lions have showed more consistency throughout the season, where Cowboys have been a little bit more up and down. Even when they won games, maybe like a little bit more up and down. But Lions, when they're on, they've been very good, and they've had some up and down games too. But I feel like only a
Yeah,
few. I feel like the Lions have been a lot more the hotter team, but I could interchange Lions and Cowboys, pencil them in equal to me. Like
hey, what about
2A and 2B.
sticking with the Eagles, man? Jalen Hurts. He had a phenomenal game, dude. A couple rushing touchdowns.
Oh, do you know what I just realized?
Uh,
The fucking cell phone picture worked, man. That picture of
oh,
the falling confetti.
oh man, so far, yeah.
He's so inspired. We'll see.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
MVP race. He's got to be it, right? Honestly, man, AJ Brown is really lifting up their game. The fact that he's got AJ Brown to throw to, but it's all this award, the MVP, usually goes to a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But he's having Lamar Jackson type season from Lamar Jackson a couple years ago. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. He's always the only other guy that there's going to be in the conversation. But you got guys like Tua. Tua's balling out this year with Miami. Christian McCaffrey, as always, had that touchdown streak going. I don't know, man. I don't see anyone hotter than Jalen Hurts right now. What you think?
No, and didn't he just get like a massive contract like over the offseason?
Yeah, yeah, you already know, man. Already know. I tell you this, who we more scared of, bro? You got Pittsburgh, you got Denver, and you got the Buffalo Bills, who we just mentioned just lost to the Jalen Hurts. But the Bills have been struggling even before that. You know, they
What's this?
fired
The
their
Texans'
offensive
remaining
coordinator.
schedule?
No, no, no. I'm just saying out of these three, we already beat Pittsburgh earlier. Yeah, we got Denver next, actually. I don't think we play the Bills. But no, it's just two teams that I think are rising in a lot of people's eyes. Pittsburgh's rising. Um, Denver, I think they had won five straight, bro. They rolling
Really?
into this game against the Texans. Yeah, bro. Like they're 6-5 now, bro.
That's why we have
Um,
flex at 3 o'clock.
no, no, we got flexed out of 3 to noon, and
What?
a lot of people are like, "What? That's a demotion, isn't it? Going out of the 3 p.m. to the 12." But apparently, you look at the games where they're slotted and who else is playing at 3 p.m. They're a high-profile team, so the NFL wanted more eyes on the Texans, so put us back at noon.
But it's a
You
nationally
know, because
televised noon game.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like, because here out in freaking Austin, like if it's between the Texans and the Cowboys, I always get blacked out of the Texans and I get the Cowboys, which is crap.
Goddamn shame. Yeah, it's a goddamn shame.
Yeah, power rankings. Okay.
But hey, I mean, aside from the Broncos, I mean, it's funny that you were surprised about the Broncos. Yeah, being 6-5 because the Browns 7-4. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else, kind of like our fantasy league.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone wrote the Broncos off, and everyone's just like loving to laugh at Russell Wilson, us and
Hey,
you included.
and I think Buffalo's still dangerous. Is my point. Buffalo's still the team to be feared out there. I know they just,
I
like I
think
said,
they're
all
just
this
having
shit's
like
going on.
a terrible season. Like just like in the NFL,
Yeah, it
it's
happens.
easy. It's
Yeah,
I don't think it's
yeah.
everyone wants to turn it about like Josh Allen's decision making. Oh my god, and like fire the coach. And it's like I always thought about this the other day. Like when people fire like an offensive coordinator, it's like seriously, like what do you think it's gonna
Yeah.
help a lot? Maybe some rare occasions it does because someone's been like that bad. But if it's a guy who's been with the team and they were just successful in with the same guy and the same scheme and everything for the past 2 or 3 seasons, and all of a sudden you have a bad season, and you're like, well, we need a scapegoat, fire this dude because you're the
Yeah,
offense.
yeah.
It's so
Someone's got to
stupid.
pay for it. It's fucked up, but yeah, someone's got to
To
pay
me,
for
it's
it.
like
Yeah.
it screams like of a weak head coach because the head coach knows that, and he's just like, I gotta fire you because they're telling me I gotta fire someone. Like someone needs to
Nah,
answer for this,
absolutely,
right?
bro.
So like, it screams weak leadership to me. But I digress. Go ahead.
No, no, I was man, back to the Texans, man. I mean, that Jacksonville game, I think did Jacksonville make the biggest statement in week 12 right here? Of all the games that happened and shit, a 24-21 win over a rising Texans team. It's hard to beat a team twice, man. We did the damn thing when we played him in week 3. So, but hey, Jacksonville's 8-3 and it's a pretty 8-3, you know what I
I
mean?
was disappointed in the Texans defense.
Yeah.
I feel like they just couldn't stop them in a lot of ways, but maybe that's because they were that good. But in
But
some of those
364 yards, bro.
some of those
Shit.
holding calls did come at the worst time, and some of them were valid, and some of them were like complete bullshit. So again,
Yeah.
trying not to slip into the bitter fan part there. But the Texans are ranked according to NFL's power rankings, number 11, down one. So I guess they had them at number 10 last week, which was impressive.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. Nice. Well, yeah,
Above the Buffalo Bills, which is interesting.
and our boy Stingley, man. I'd like to say good for Stingley. I think he had another interception, so.
No, he did. He had a really good game. So
Yeah.
things looking bright in Houston still.
Time.
It's a bad loss, but I think everyone is still like pleased with how well everyone played. The cool
That's
thing
all I got, brother.
right now, I think with the Texans is they're playing in CJ Stroud more importantly, and I think it's why people are talking about MVP. He's playing really well when he's supposed to and when he needs to, right? It feels like that's the best marker of the player. It's like everyone can flash and everyone can have good moments, but it's like when it's crunch time and you have to make a play, like he just seems to deliver over and over again. And
Yeah,
the,
bro.
the kind of team is even kind of taken on that kind of little mantra or ability in some ways. You'd like to see the defense do it though, but the defense has their own moments. I think you just mentioned Stingley, but it feels like our secondary is still like the weakness. Our line's getting stronger. But anyway, let's go into the Balls Deep League stories of the week. I think the biggest story is, unfortunately, Kyle lost against me. I totally thought I was going to lose too, and Kyle is definitely on a must-win, I think, strategy, needing to win out on these last 2 games to get in. He's, I think, right around 4 wins. That put
Will
me
it,
over.
will
But
Sleeper show the standings? Can you see if it'll look nice on there? I know their website sucks. Let's see. Oh yeah, you could do it and then scroll all the way down or something.
what you want to see like the current playoff bracket projection?
Yeah, I can't find it though.
I
They
could
won't
do something like that. Hold on. They don't have it on web, but
on
they
the
have
website,
mobile.
right?
But let me
Yeah,
try to do something real quick.
yeah, man. Just like everybody else in the league, man. This it's a tight race. Everybody in their own league. I'll tell you right now, I'm out of it. 3-9. We got two more guys at damn 4-8. John Vu and Bernal. Those three, they're probably out of it from there. Everyone else 6-6.
All right, I think I can share this. It's basically my phone. Turn this off. So I'll zoom in here. Can I zoom in? Can't zoom in. No, so you can't really zoom into that, unfortunately. So you have right now Steve is pegged to have the bye week. Right now on the outside
Oh,
looking in
sick.
is you, Kyle, John Vu, and yeah, and I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Yao,
Easy.
Bernal.
Oh
um,
shit.
so what I want to say is,
Look
so
at
who's
that
all
right
in right now?
there, bro.
We got Tank, Rebo, Will, um, the Ivy brothers both getting in. D. I will say Vu is kind of. I think he's won 4 straight lately. He was on life support with you. He's kind of doing what you kind of needed to do.
Oh
Vu has a
shit.
slight
Nice.
chance. So let's go back and I'll take this
He could
off.
swap with who? Yeah, who's the last? Damn, that's
Let's see.
badass, bro.
I want to
Nice.
see on. We can at least see. Oh, if I can get to sleeper here. Oh man, I can't see my mouse. Well, we'll bring this back in. I wanted to. Oh, you're floating. There we go. I want to find the league.
Yeah, man.
What are we gonna look at? Sorry.
No.
Okay,
Nothing.
I
I
want to look at
was
the overall record, so I can pull this back up. Sorry.
nice. Yeah. They'll show like the points for and all there probably. Oh yeah, nice.
Okay, so we have Steve 9-3. We have Bob 75, D
Oh,
75,
nice,
so
bro.
strong in. I'm a strong in. Then you have Rebo 6-6. Kyle's 5-7. Tank 6-6. So between Ivy, Tank, and Kyle and Randy,
Nice. Wow.
that's so we have like 3 guys at 6-6, and then we have Kyle. So Kyle needs to win out, and he needs a little help from someone to kind of like also stumble. Maybe if someone loses one and
One of
Kyle
these.
wins out,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Well, the good thing is you can tell because these last 3 weeks it's division games only, so these guys are playing each other. That Division 3 right there, Tank, Matt, and Randy, 6-6, they're going to be playing each other here.
but doesn't our playoffs don't they? Does division matter? Because in the playoffs, doesn't it just like best overall record?
Points, yeah. No, I meant the fact that they're going to be playing each other. One of these 6-6s are going to get
Right. Oh,
lost.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
if Kehu wins out, yeah, then it's head to head. If Kehu beat them in the season, or it's going to be nice, bro.
So let's look at the overall. So who's Kyle
Do
playing?
they do a points
I think
for or anything?
Kyle's concern is he's decimated by bye week. So
Oh yeah. Let's look it up. Yeah.
so right now,
So this is like a Netflix documentary, The Path to the Seventh Seed.
where is he? I just lost him.
Rob Thomas, bottom right. Yeah. Oh, bottom right, bro.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's at 40%. In that's with an unadjusted
God, no
roster.
quarterback situation. Yeah, Brees Hall is finally there. Miles Sanders is a embarrassment. But dude, he's got a guy that can score for 3 players in Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying?
And
He
usually
picked up our
does.
boy Pat F over there for the Steelers. Like I said, I dropped him right before noon. Yeah, I think
How's Sam Howell doing?
Sam Howell's up there, but look at that 4th ranked QB, bro.
Wow.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's. I mean, that's what happens when motherfucker throws it 50 times a game. Shit, you better get some points.
So they got Brock Purdy 11.
That's a tough one though. Will's a tough matchup there. I mean, shit, right there, ETN, Camaro. Enough said.
ETN
Don't even
could be
need to
hurt
look
though.
at.
He could be out.
Yeah, that's true. And then from there, you got your boys right there. and strong receiving core. Keenan Allen, automatic.
Kamara not having a stellar season, but a good one.
Nah, it's just that he started slow. Yeah, after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we already know Kelsey. I mean, you got the number one tight end on your
Yeah.
squad. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough week right here. Like,
Not impossible though. I wouldn't rule him
yeah,
out.
yeah. No,
Like,
no,
it's
no.
Will's no.
Who's yeah.
So like okay. So then what's his week 14 against Flash Gordon's?
Uh-oh.
And Prescott's been on fire lately. And it was funny because you said it earlier in the season, like I don't like Prescott fantasy wise.
Yeah.
Or no, I think you were talking to him more about you actually said the opposite. You said I don't like Prescott for the organization and trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Fantasy wise is a different story, and you don't.
He
like
was,
both.
yeah.
So I'll take that back. Justin Fields. He's got to get rid of Justin Fields. That's interesting. Why does it have Sam Howell starting for week 13 and then week 14?
In that, yeah.
Fields.
Damn, that is crazy. Oh, he might have already set his lineup for the future weeks. You can do that.
You can do that? Interesting.
Yeah.
I think he was saying today, like, Justin Fields is a fumble machine. And the only way, like, when I looked at our and I'm not going to pull it up right now, but when I looked at our matchup, I was like, Kyle's going to beat me unless DJ Moore has over 100 yards a game. I get the bonus points. And Justin Fields does some interceptions or some stupid shit to kind of negate his own personal points because he's going to get the points in connection with whatever he's throwing to DJ Moore. And that's exactly what happened. He had like 2 fumbles, I think, in that game. He's got Josh Jacobs back, so I think he got Josh Jacobs on bye week this week.
So this looks like, yeah, he can take care of business. It's all about next week now. Damn, Zay Flowers. Damn, he does have some people on bye. 14 is tough.
Yeah, he's getting a little down the dumps, but it's totally doable. In the world of fantasy football, crazy shit happens all the time.
Anything is possible, bro.
I mean, I think that's kind of your season in a nutshell, right? You're a smart man, but
man.
you're on the bottom looking
too
up.
many risks. Too many risks and not enough rewards.
Too creative.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I did last season. And this season, I try to stick more to my draft well, don't trade much.
Stay grounded. Stay grounded.
And don't make a trade unless I really need to. I think in the past I'll be like, yeah, I'll help you out. I'm like, no, fuck all you guys. I'm not gonna make a trade with y'all just to help you out.
You're fucking right.
It did pain me though. I'll be honest. Like for my I could say how I feel about if I beat my dad or Kyle, where Kyle needs the win more than I need the win, and he lost by .02 or something like that. My heart breaks a little for him. He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, you could have won, man. I'll give you the win, but then I'm like, nah, he wouldn't do that for me. He'd kill me. So
yeah.
So I'm taking him and run. So yeah, suck it, Kyle. All right. Well, I think that's the show.
That's it, bro.
Wait.
That's it.
What's happening? Let's hit a look what's happening. We haven't done it.
Bro, I got one question, bro. I was Black Friday shopping. I ain't get shit. I don't know what you got. You can share. Cyber Monday, I was shopping. Didn't get shit. There's a lot of shit I wanted. But man, what's up with this? I'm trying to get Taryn a MacBook. What's up with this M2, M3 chip, M3? Like, what's up? What is this, man? I was reading it.
You sound like an old man right now.
I was reading it. It's all impressive, but like, damn, man, why they gotta have their own name for it, man? It's just
because it's so typically.
Is this if I want to edit shit? Is that
well, Apple's putting it into all their stuff. They made their own proprietary computer CPU chip. Typically, it would be powered by a Intel-based chipset. That's the brand that chip that powers all the machines. Apple has made a chip that's just more powerful, more efficient. The typical Apple, everything's integrated. So I've got an M1 chip on my MacBook Pro.
I got one on my Pro too. Yes, sir. Yeah, me too.
And so there's certain ways you can take advantage of it to make it more powerful. So Apple-based applications like Final Cut Pro, what I use to edit software, like video on, it screams on an M1 chip versus an Intel-based chip. So it gets very technical, but all you need to know it's Apple's proprietary stuff, and they know how to squeeze the juice and performance out of it. and now they've
Yeah.
had like 3 iterations, and it's now in iPads. It's going to be in the new Vision OS goggle system that they're coming out with. It's crazy. It's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah. Because I was like, Taryn need the basic shit, so I'll just get her a MacBook Air. Like, she don't need a Pro like me, She ain't gonna edit shit.
I think
Just
even the MacBook Airs have like an M1 chip, which is like
yeah. No,
awesome.
no, not
Yeah.
yeah. Now they got yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like, do I need? She don't need the M2, right?
No,
M1's
no.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
M1.
Okay. Okay.
Get it an Air. Air's fine.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, bro. That's hey. Final Cut is that free?
No, it's not free. iMovie's free.
Shit though, huh? Compared to the Final Cut.
Final Cut's like $300. It's worth it if
All
you
right.
need to edit a bunch of
Uh,
stuff. But
I'm gonna get it then. Just fuck around.
um, I have what's happening. We've talked a little bit about it. Cybertruck Week, baby. It's here. Thursday, if you did not know, this Thursday is announcing
What?
the production. Excuse me, I'm about to cough. This Thursday is a Tesla Cybertruck event here in Austin, Texas. I didn't get a ticket. I am a shareholder, but shareholders get tickets to actually go to these things. I didn't get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's going to launch, and they're giving out like only a handful of trucks to people, probably all employees. But now you'll start to see people get contacted for a Cybertruck delivery. So we'll see how slow or how fast the ramp is. Everyone's predicting to be very, very slow. So time will tell. We're in the last quarter of the year. See how much they can build. Probably not much. It's literally like a month in the quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm predicting maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah.
And then
Alright.
2024 starts the year of the Cybertruck. The rumor is there's a dual motor config that they're coming out with first, and then they'll have like a tri-motor in a couple quarters after that. Pricing.
Yeah.
Talk about pricing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my guesstimate out there, and I want you to do yours too. You probably have kept up the very little. When it was announced, I believe the dual motor was priced at 50,000, and the tri motor was priced at 70,000.
Shit.
They advertised a single motor variant for 40,000, but they've later scrapped the single motor variant, so it's only going to be a dual
Wait.
tri motor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't. So you can't get a single motor version. The $40,000 truck is non-existent. They've already said, and that was before all the inflation and stuff started. This has been over 4 years. They've said they've put a lot of technology and stuff into it, and with inflation, that it's going to cost more. So be prepared for that. How much more, they have not said. So we're going to find out on Thursday. Excuse me. That said, what do you think the price is going to be?
Oh, that's,
So we started at 50.
yeah. You gotta be at least 20 more, huh? I don't know. For the dual motor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
I'm saying
60.
60 to 65.
I'd say 60. Yeah.
I'm saying more so 60. I feel like 10 grand ad is a reasonable inflation and technology kind of ad,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of incentive to not make it, crazy. They have to come under the, I believe, $80,000 mark to have a tax credit.
Oh, okay. Damn.
But even if they did that, because a tax credit of 7,500 is what you currently get. I think next year it maybe go to half, but either way, they'll probably bake that into a bit. They'll probably push the price knowing that you're going to get a credit of like $4,000 on it.
Bitches.
But the cool thing is next year, 2024, which is like, again, like a month or two away, the tax credit you get now, it doesn't really help you because it's like you still finance the full $70,000 of the car, but you get the tax credit back when you file your taxes. You get $7,500 back, right? So it's cash in your pocket, which is cool, and you could throw it at the car, but that doesn't help your payment because you're going to get a monthly payment, fixed payment based on how much you finance. And so if you finance a $70,000 car and you have like a $900 payment, throwing $7,500 back at it after you've already got the loan isn't really going to help you with a lower payment. It'll help you pay it off quicker. But the immediate, so basically how it changes is you can say, hey, when I buy the car, I'm just going to defer that tax credit to Tesla, and they'll take it off the total price of the car, thus lowering your payment. So next year,
Oh,
it's
that's
gonna
a
be,
better way, huh?
yeah. So next year you can say like, oh, well, I can actually credit that. So Tesla knows this too. They're not stupid. They'll push the price to be like, if it's even 67,000 or 69,000, you'll get the rebate of 7,500, which will bring it down to you're really financing a 60 to $63,000 car.
Hey,
So
shit, that's
then everyone wins. So that's what I'm looking at. Like if
I
I've
want to
got a
see this shit.
reservation,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to see how much it costs. There's a lot of
And
rumors
you
out
say you
there.
find out Thursday? You say?
Thursday, and we'll find out like price range and their plan about rollout again. Like the rumor is they first said they're going to come out with the highest price variant, like the tri motor, and dual motor will be touched last. But I'd be willing to bet they're going to say something like, given inflation, given the crazy interest rates, and that's the problem right now. Is the interest rates are fucking crazy for like a car. It's like
Yeah.
8 to 9%. It's wild. So you have to really want this truck. I really want the truck, but I'm not going to go into like crazy debt for the damn thing. And
Yeah. Fuck.
so they know this, so it's like they have to come out with something that's reasonably priced because the rates are going to make it already hard enough. So it doesn't make sense to come out with like this really, really $80,000 to $100,000 truck that such few people could buy and would stomach the interest rate, because the only people really buying cars are those paying cash full. So,
Yeah.
and maybe there's enough people. Anyway, it's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
they're gonna be people.
But the big thing now, and I'm calling bullshit on it. There's a rumor flying out there that the dual motor is going to have a really crap range of like 270 miles. And so if you're pulling anything, if you're doing
Damn,
towing,
yeah. You're already losing it.
you're already losing like half of that. Tesla's not stupid; they know this. I don't think it's going to be 270.
Damn.
I'm thinking it's going to be 300 to 320, 315, probably more 300, 315, 100 miles. That's going to be great. It's going to be perfect. It's like right now in the Model Y, I've got like 315. Gets me everywhere I need to go, and that's plenty
Yeah.
to like even if you're towing shit and it's nerfs at half, they'll get you to Giddings, and charging is not a big deal. Like I wouldn't mind, but it wouldn't make a lot of like I wouldn't touch that truck if it was $65,000 and then only 270 miles in range. I wouldn't get it. But if it's 300 miles in range, 315, totally.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Shit. That's underestimated by me. I gotta pay attention to that then. Damn.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I am your Cybertruck guy, and I will guide you through the process. I think I thought I had another what's happening, but I know we just talked a lot about Cybertruck, so we can end it there. Unless you had something.
Yeah,
cool.
brother. Nah, man. Let's get
Christmas
some
holiday.
rest,
Let's
brother.
enjoy the holidays. I'm glad to be back on the air with you, my sir, my dude. And hey, there's always something to look forward to in the Balls Deep Fantasy League. So your season might be over, but you got some mini
We're trying to
games
collect
go.
some money.
Collect some
Gonna be
money.
fun. It's gonna be fun playoffs. Gonna be drafting players from the playoff rosters and try to win some money there gambling.
Hey, I
Fun.
guess. Remember when we used to go to Tailgate? That's the last game of Texans. That was a lot of fun.
Oh
We should do it
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Or even just have like an end of year party somewhere.
I was gonna say let's
we
just go
come down to Galveston.
I was gonna say no. Yeah, we'll come up to Austin, man. Shit,
Yeah.
I'm down.
All right,
All right,
man.
brother.
Well, I'll let you go, man. Have a good one.
Good night, brother.
Peace. Oh,
Here, no music, no.
see, I wasn't ready. Here we go.
All right,
I wasn't
brother.
ready.
Economy liquor.
Buy more.